art is serious business, and it's serious business because it impacts people emotionally. If it's really good, it impacts them emotionally. We're going to talk to someone who's impacted us with pictures, with photographs that have impacted all of us here in the village. We're really lucky to have him. Almost all of you that are watching today have met him or talked to him or seen him around the village. This man who always carries his camera, and he has taken thousands and thousands of pictures and done it with such a giving spirit. So we want you to meet him, we want to talk to him, and we would like him to tell us a little more about why he does this, and maybe he'll tell us some of his favorite photos. So now we're going to meet this person I've been talking about, and I'm so happy to introduce to you Mark Rabinowitch. And hi, Mark.
Hi, Sandy.
It's great to have you here because, of course, I've known you since I came to the village.
Right.
Over 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And it always fascinated me because you were always there, but like we didn't even know you were there half the time.
Yeah.
So tell us why you love doing this, and because I know you've taken thousands of pictures, but tell us why you love doing this.
It's really simple. I spent my working career in the arts and crafts industry, mainly in the arts end of it. People would always ask me, "Oh, do you paint?" And I tell them, and they would laugh after I mentioned what I'm about to say, "I can't do a stick figure without a compass and a ruler." Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Well, I wasn't kidding. But this is different. With a camera, I'm painting with light. And I've gotten practiced at it, and I think I'm doing okay.
More than okay.
Well, thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And you've taken so many pictures of the theater groups because, of course, they use them in so many different ways.
Sure.
And you mentioned that you may have taken up to 30,000 pictures of that?
I know it's 30,000 plus.
And then you've also been working working for GRF and taking all these pictures at concerts, and then that's piled up to be another, 20,000 maybe?
Oh, I would think easily.
Right.
Because I'll take 3 or 4 or 500 at a given concert sometime.
How do you feel about the work that it entails after you've taken all those pictures? Because you have to edit.
For every hour that I'm shooting, it's an hour and a half or so sitting in front of a computer.
And is that okay with you?
It's not work. It's something I love to do.
That is so great. And this is always a hard question, I think, for any artist.
Lay it on me.
Do you have any favorite pictures or any favorite project that you've worked on?
I do have favorite photographs, most of which are family.
Oh, good.
I've documented both my grandsons from the time the nurses finished cleaning them up.
Wow.
So 15 minutes after birth, and photos from both of them up to actually yesterday. As far as work, or my own, let me take it away from work, to my own personal favorites. I just got down at the creek some photographs of a given squirrel who I'm sort of friendly with, and I can't believe what he did in his posing. It was it's like he was scripted, but
I know.
It was so much fun.
I was lucky enough to see it because you posted it on Facebook, and I was amazed. I mean, my comment to you was, did he pose for you?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, because it was just so amazing. And that,
so
talk
lifelike.
About touching. I mean, this. Yeah. I mean, I know it touched a lot of people because so many people commented on it.
Oh my gosh.
So many people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the fun part. I mean, the really fun part for you, I think, isn't it?
Sure it is.
Doing that.
Sure it is. But I also like to go into the theater and work with, as you know, both the theater groups. Photographing rehearsals and for the brochures, for the photographs for the play brochures.
Flyer and
the flyers and geez, on and on and on. I always put together a slideshow, as you know, which is a video of photographs documenting the history of a given play, from sometimes auditions through opening night.
And that's so meaningful. I know it is because I've been fortunate to see many. The reason it's so meaningful is that we're in the throes of the play,
Yep.
learning it, rehearsing it,
Yeah.
bringing it to, opening night.
Right.
And we've sort of forgotten that you've been always there taking these pictures. So
But
when we
that's why that's part of my job, is to be part of the wallpaper.
And so when we see this, it's so wonderful, and people will go, "Oh my gosh, I forgot." Oh, that
Yeah.
and you can hear them when they see it, because they didn't even realize that you had taken all those pictures.
That's part of that makes my heart go pitter-patter a little faster, because I got somebody.
I know, and you've done it many times.
I know you're always on my case.
Oh, sometimes great, sometimes not so great, but it's okay because as you tell me how you describe photos, because I think it's so great.
Unlike a painting, which takes a lot of time to do, I'm taking a moment in time. Most of the time in the theater, let's just say, for instance, 1/100th of a second. And I'm capturing that 1/100th of a second. And after that, the time, it's all gone. If I don't capture it, it'll never come back.
Never come back.
Yeah.
And I think that's why so many people value their pictures so much. Because
I do too.
they've seen the history of their life, the history of their family.
That's right. It's the history, the family history.
And it's such a great, great thing to be able to have.
It is so bloody important to have the history of our family for my grandkids, and to pass that. I've already given to my daughter to pass it on to them. And then as they mature and go through life cycles and have kids, that they know where they came from.
And that's so important. It is, because I know so many of us don't think about it that much. Like your grandchildren are younger, they're not thinking about it, but pretty soon they're going to start thinking about it and saying, "Oh my gosh, Grandpa took all these pictures. I'm so grateful for it."
Yeah, I hope so.
So you've been in the village for how many years?
10 plus.
10, okay. And how has taking all these wonderful pictures impacted you? Because you're giving something to the village that is priceless.
But they're giving something back to me that's priceless.
Good.
I've met, God knows how many people here in the village, because of my camera, that I never would have met before. So look at all the friends and acquaintances I have all over the village that I never would have had if I wasn't telling or saying to them, "Smile."
You're on
Mark's camera.
Yeah, you're on Mark's camera.
Right. You can't put a price on that.
And I think some people ask you to take a picture, don't they, from time to time?
Sure they do.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can, and sometimes I can't. And sometimes if I'm in a pushed situation, I don't always say it nicely. No, I can't. But I try to be as nice as I can.
So it means that much to you because of all the feedback that you're getting from all these people.
Sure.
And that's such a great thing. And that is what art is about.
I'm painting a picture with light. The sensor captures what I'm pointing the lens at. And then that's what we have.
And is there anything that you've done in taking pictures for GRF that you felt really impacted you?
Yeah.
Therefore, it's going to impact the community too.
Well, it was sort of for GRF, but it was in conjunction with the Video Club and Lucy Parker.
Oh, great.
The Centenarian project, which we did. Actually, we started it a year ago and finished it in July. The Video Club videotaped the centenarians. We had 16 of them who took part. And I did all the still photography on that. Having the centenarian bring in a photograph from their younger days. Normally they brought in their 20s. They were in their 20s.
Great.
And I tried to get them, and thank goodness successfully, to pose in a like manner. Headshot type thing. And to think that everybody that I photographed was over 100 was kind of a oh wow for me. But the fact that 3 of them are now gone kind of drills in a little deeper. And one of them, after we took her photographs, we generally worked on Fridays. That next Wednesday, she was gone.
Oh.
And the only thing that ran through my head was, oh my gosh, did I get the last photograph of this woman alive?
Probably.
And I probably did.
I'm sure, almost for sure.
And stuff like that really
Gets
me.
But I think it can also inspire other people out there that are in their 90s and getting up there, to see that, if you can stay relatively healthy, you can get there. You can get there.
Of course.
And so that can impact them.
Irv Piken. We were talking about Irv. A lot of folks in the village know him. Last year I photographed for GRF his 110th birthday, and this year I got him at 111.
On the front page of the Globe.
That wasn't my photograph.
Oh, it wasn't you?
But the fellow who took it was standing right next to me.
Oh, he was?
I set the photograph up and he...
So in a way you took that picture?
Yeah, I suppose in a way.
It was probably the register or something that took it.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that was what I thought.
Yeah.
But that really touched you, that project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you get a chance to photograph a guy who's 111 years old? I never ever would have guessed that I would have an opportunity to do that, but I did. And it means something to me.
So Mark,
Yes.
tell me, because
Yes.
I know that you have taken so many pictures.
Should we be whispering now?
No, we should. But let's just say that you've taken so many pictures of the Theater Guild and the Old Pros, and I've been fortunate to be a part of it for over 6 years.
Yeah.
Just for fun, how many pictures have you taken of me?
Well over 100.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And as you know, some of them you didn't care for.
Somebody didn't really like, right. But I often wonder about that because, and I have to admit, we all love to see ourselves in the pictures. We all do.
Sure.
Sometimes we say, oh, I look terrible and all that, but that's not what it's about. They like to see it.
Of course.
But then I think about the shows and I think about how we're impacting people in the village who come to the shows. I think we do. I know we do, because the goal that we do this, the goal is for the audience.
It's for their entertainment?
It's for them to be happy, enjoy,
Right.
maybe cry, maybe laugh a lot.
Welcome to community theater.
Yeah. So how do you see that? How do you see that and how it impacts the people here in the village?
When I'm photographing rehearsals, some of the photographs go to the folks who put together the flyers and all the promotional stuff that goes out to the villagers. And if we don't have photographs that draw their attention to what it is we're trying to tell them, then I've wasted my time.
Right. They're not going to care.
They're not going to care. So what I do, I take very seriously, because it's for the betterment of not only the cast of any given show, but it's for all the folks who are thinking, oh, should I go see it or shouldn't I? And I better have some graphics there that yell, you better show up, because this is worth coming to and spending 10 or 15 bucks to sit through. That's what's important. It's the selling of the product.
And the theater groups are the product.
And the theater groups, the play is the product.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very important to me. I don't do this lightly. I take it very, very seriously.
And most of the directors I've worked with, they always make the comment, this is not about us. This is about the audience.
That's right.
And the audience is all of these people in the village.
Yeah.
Because we do get some very large audiences at our shows.
Yes. Well, also, as you know, when I'm done with the camera, I think I've been backstage at every performance since 14, except for one, when I was sick. So I wasn't able to be there. But it's important for me to be there and to be part of what is being presented. And as you know, a couple of times I actually got stuck up on the stage.
Yes.
which is a very foreign world to me.
And you've also helped behind the stage
Oh.
and done stage crew many times.
All the time.
Which I think is another way of giving to the community and letting, letting them know that, we can do all kinds of things to enhance this experience.
If everybody gave just a little bit in the village, we have a wonderful situation, but wouldn't it be even much nicer?
Oh, it'd be even better.
Yeah.
It's good, it's very good, but
Yeah.
it would be even better.
Yeah. And then I could take their photos while they were doing it.
Exactly.
And I'd love that.
Exactly.
I get a chance to meet more people who I don't know yet.
And I often think of the photo you took for Night Watch of the full cast.
Mhm.
Do you remember that on
Mhm.
Sunday?
I do.
First of all, it was a really good picture. Turned out beautifully.
Yeah.
And the goal was to give it to our director, Jeannie Sanner,
Right.
who was totally, totally thrilled.
Yeah.
So that was a gift
Yeah.
that all it cost was a frame to put it in.
That's all it cost.
But what it meant to her was so much.
But that's what this little gizmo does.
It meant so much to her. She
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
And you did such a good job of, because it's always hard to herd the people when
Oh,
before the show starts,
you know I can yell.
I know. So we herded the crowd. We got them together.
Yeah.
And the picture, you captured it. You just captured. Everybody looked happy and excited. And
What do I say to everybody whose headshot I'm taking or photograph at a photo booth if we're at a dance or something? Just look right here at my forehead.
Yes.
Think of the happiest thing in your life and then put it right here. And when they do, click.
it works.
And it works.
It works.
Because then they get a smile on their face.
Yeah.
Because they're not expecting me to say, give me happy.
or smile. What you say
Yeah.
is so much better, I think, than that. Yeah, I really do.
It's all in practicing. But I'm an old salesman anyway, right?
There you go. You are. So I just, there's so many things that I think about when I think about what we do and how we do it. And I'm thinking that people will be always impacted if it's done in a giving way, I think. I think, we hear this a lot. If you give to others, it's going to make you feel better.
Yeah. I'll go on with that statement.
Right, and I
Yeah.
think that's how we feel as actors in the theater.
Yeah.
We feel like if we're giving that to the audience, we're giving them something that is of ourselves, but it's to benefit them.
Yeah. One of the things that I enjoy most about what I do is if I'm at Bonanza, let's just say, for instance, I'll generally have a couple of cameras strapped on me. This one a shorter lens to get up closer, but this isn't my favorite lens. It's my longer lens where I can stand back and get people doing what they would do because they're going to change their way when I say to them, I'm going to take your picture. If I don't tell them I'm taking their picture, I'm going to get a very different result. And that is what I truly love,
Is getting that other result.
is getting that
Yeah,
other result. Yeah.
And not having it, posed and
I don't want posed. That's
boring.
the advertising folks are always telling me, get people smiling. I'd rather get people who don't know I'm getting them, because then it's the real thing.
Even though I know you pretty well after all this time, it's
Yes.
really been fun for me to hear you talking about this in a way that maybe we haven't even talked before.
I don't think we have.
No, but now the thing that we're going to do is we're going to close this out, and then we know that you're going to be talking and telling us in the form of a voiceover
Yeah.
all about these wonderful pictures that you have sort of considered some of your favorites. And I think it's going to be a touching thing for everyone else too. I'm sure it is going to be. And thank you so much for being here.
Happy to be here, Sandy.
Good.
Normally, you'll never see my face, but I'm showing it to you here to begin this because I'm with family, and that's the most important thing in the world to me. Everything else takes second place. Nature is one of the places I love to be with my camera. There's such wonderment. There's such beauty. The birds and the animals are all there if we just take a moment to stop and look at the sunset and enjoy what nature is painting in the sky. It's just something that I take my time on a walk down at the creek, wherever it happens to be, and I look for all the little stuff, because that's what really interests me as a photographer. Being a member of the Old Pros and a photographer, I'm always looking for people who do a good job rehearsing. Well, I found a squirrel down at the creek. I don't know his name, but this guy did his rehearsing and couldn't wait for me to get there with my camera. Times I get to be a fly on the wall at a great, big, fun, loud event. Woodstock takes us back to the 60s, and we all had a lot of fun, and I have fun when I'm photographing there. Not only do I get a chance to photograph at Woodstock, but I also get to photograph at the Clown College graduation. I've done this for a number of years. You're about to see a promotional video that I photographed for the Old Pros.
The Old Pros, in association with the Recreation Department, is excited to bring to the Performing Arts Center The Lion in Winter. King Henry and his loving Queen Eleanor, whom he has kept in prison. Henry and his mistress Elise, whom he wants to marry. The love a king has for a son. The family, gamesmanship, backstabbing, and non-stop barbed quips.
For about the last 6 years, I've spent over 1,000 hours photographing for both the Old Pros and the Theater Guild, and it has been time well spent because I have loved every minute of it.
Something familiar, something peculiar, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Something appealing, something appalling, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Nothing with kings, nothing with crowns. Bring on the lovers, liars, and clowns. Old situations.
When you spend 1,000 hours with a group of people, you get to know them. And when you get to know them, you become friends. And I get to document what my friends are doing. It just doesn't get much better than that. Photography is an art, and I'm documenting the art of the actor. And I get to watch these folks on a daily basis improve and enjoy what they're doing. And I get to show them because I'm documenting moment by moment their actions. Working with all of the actors, I've watched them improve as they've gone from play to play. But it's not only them who have improved. I have worked hard to further my ability as a photographer and do a better job for them. When we retire, most of us are looking for happiness. I've been fortunate. I've found mine right here in the village. Have you ever seen a play in 15 seconds? Watch. I've also enjoyed being able to photograph some big names. Pat Boone, James Darren, the Flamingos, the Nelson Brothers, and many others who have been to our Performing Arts Center. What a lucky guy am I. As the village staff photographer, I've had the opportunity to photograph hundreds of events here in the village. I have a unique advantage. I get to document the flavor of the village. Most folks don't get a chance to do that.
I'm so happy that you got to meet Mark Rabinowitch today. We think he's an awfully special person, and anyone that has met him feels the same way. But Mark is quite low-key, and I think that he really opened up today and gave you some really great information about what he does and how he does it. I mean, I have known Mark for over 6 years, and he is so dedicated to helping the community with photos. I mean, it's just fabulous. He does so many shots of the Old Pros and the Theater Guild. Plus, he contributes to you in the community because he takes so many photos at major events here. So we are very, very fortunate to have him. And he's taken thousands and thousands of pictures, and his heart is still in it. Like he said, it's hard for me to go any place without this camera at my hip. And sometimes I've even said to Mark, do you have your camera? He said, oh, of course, it's in the car, you know. So he's always got it right near him, and because he never knows when the next picture will be taken. And so enjoy it. Listen to what he has to say. I know you did. And just when you meet him now in the village, thank him for all that he does for us.